You've heard the promise, right? I know I have. The one that says you can totally change your life, build any new habit you want. Whether it's finally sticking to a new diet, or getting that exercise routine to actually become, a routine. Or maybe it's just locking in that studying habit for good. For all these things, there's always that one magic number that gets thrown around. Yep, just 21 days. That's the finish line we've all been sold. Just 3 short weeks of effort, they say, and boom, you're a whole new person. But what if I told you that number, that entire promise, is basically a myth? A really, really powerful one that kind of took over the entire self-help world. So today, let's pull back the curtain on this whole 21-day rule. All right, so let's get into it. Where did this whole thing even come from? Well, you might be surprised to learn that to find the origin, we're not heading to a psychology lab. Nope, we're going to an operating room. So back in the 1950s, there was this plastic surgeon, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and he started noticing something kind of interesting with his patients. He saw that after a surgery, it took them about 3 weeks to get used to their new face. He wrote this down in his book, Psycho-Cybernetics, back in 1960. And folks, that's where the misunderstanding really began. And here's the kicker. If you actually look at what Maltz wrote, you can see how it all got twisted. He was super careful with his words. He said things like, a minimum of about 21 days. And this is the most important part, he was talking about self-image, getting used to seeing a new reflection. He wasn't talking about building a habit like going to the gym every day. So the big question is, how on earth did a surgeon's casual, carefully worded observation about faces turn into this unbreakable law for all habits? Well, it turns out that timing was just perfect. You have to remember the 60s and 70s, that was a time of a lot of societal anxiety, but it was also the dawn of this big wave of individualism. People were just craving a simple formula, something that promised them a little bit of control over their own lives. And the number 21? Oh, it was perfect. It's short, it's memorable, and it was tailor-made for the booming self-help industry. It was basically hope sold in a neat little 3-week box. And so for decades, this idea just spread like wildfire. Nobody really questioned it. It just became a fact. That is, until 2009, when a research team at University College London decided, you know what? Let's actually test this thing. So they got a group of people, 96 of them, and had them try to form really simple habits, like drinking a glass of water with lunch. And the result? Well, it wasn't 21 days. Not even close. On average, it took 66 days. That's more than triple the time. But wait, the average number doesn't even tell the most interesting part of the story. The range was just massive. Some people actually did form a habit pretty quickly, in just 18 days. But the slowest person, it took them 254 days. I mean, that's over 8 months for something as simple as drinking a glass of water. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that any single magic number is, frankly, meaningless. Doesn't matter if it's 21 days or 66 or 100. The real answer is, it depends. It depends on you, on how tough the habit is, and what's going on around you. There's just no magic bullet. Okay, so if the science is so clear on this, why is the 21-day myth still everywhere? I mean, you see it in corporate training, on fitness blogs, all over the place. Well, the answer has a lot less to do with science and a lot more to do with us. Think about it. First off, the myth is kind of convenient because it puts all the blame on you. If you fail after 21 days, well, that's your fault, right? Not the methods. Second, we humans just love a finish line. Just 3 weeks feels so much better and less scary than forever. And finally, it's great for big companies and organizations. It's way easier to tell employees to just shift their mindset in 21 days than it is to, fix the actual problems in the system that make things hard. Okay, so we've established that counting days is out. It's the wrong way to think about it. So, what does the real science say we should be doing instead? Well, the modern thinking, the real scientific consensus, is that forming a habit isn't about gritting your teeth and using willpower for a certain number of days. No, it's about design. It's about building a system, designing your environment to make the good habit the easiest possible choice. And this really breaks down the whole shift in thinking. The myth is all about willpower, chasing a magic number, and then feeling bad when it doesn't work. The reality, it's about your environment. It's about building a smart system that works for you. And it's about being okay with experimenting. It's not about the grind, it's about the design. So look, the 21-day rule was a lie, a myth. But But it came from a very real place, right? That deep down human desire we all have to be a little bit better. And that desire is powerful. The great news is that now we have better tools than just a magic number. We have science, we have design. So the only question left for you is, what system are you going to design for yourself?